everyone. Welcome to the Sports Doyen with me, Kushag, and a full host of experts with us here to preview the Mumbai Indians versus Delhi Capitals IPL final of 2020. First of all, a very warm welcome to a cricket writer, to a cricket journalist, and someone whom we are very fortunate to have on this channel, Mr. Siddharth Gulati. Thank you so much. Mr. Gulati has worked with a lot of leading organizations with NDTV, Hindustan Times, and Cricketcy, to name a few. Thank you so much for joining us, Siddharth. We're really blessed to have you on board.
My pleasure.
And of course, we have another cricket writer and journalist with us, a colleague of ours, at least from for Anurag and Prathamesh. She's a colleague from IISM and making of a very first appearance on the Sports Doyen after much coaxing, I must say. Prajakta, thank you so much for joining us. We're really looking forward to having a chat with you.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
And of course, the usual two suspects are here. They're almost never not here. So, Prathamesh and Anurag. Anurag, my condolences for yesterday. I know the entire city of Hyderabad was drowning in orange tears, but as you tweeted, the team really did bring Hyderabad together. So it was wonderful to see your performance. Yeah. And without wasting much time, I'll come straight away to the qualifier because we have to talk a little over it as we decided pre-notes that we gloss over it. So Anurag, it was a tough match. I think I guess 15-20 runs too much given away during that onslaught from Dhawan and Stoinis, of course. How did you see the match yesterday? Tough luck on the loss there, but overall a very good tournament for SRH. Lots of positives today.
Fantastic tournament. I must say we punched well above our weights. Firstly, when the tournament started, if you remember our preview videos, we were always very confident of Sunrisers reaching the playoffs. I think maybe my overconfidence just rubbed off on both of you as well. So, but that wasn't the case when the tournament started. I think clearly the middle order was. I don't know what is the right word to describe that. It was so naive in more than one way, and that in many important games. And I think we could have so easily finished second, especially considering the way the tournament panned out. So many close games that were just right in your hand and it just slipped away. But it's fine. I think that's the one thing that I'm really. That didn't make me feel very bad about is the fact that this team did way better than what they should have, what they ideally should have. They really brought in some great competitive spirit, led by Kane Williamson. He's the leader of this bunch. I'm sorry, I'm not really a fan of Warner as captain. I've mentioned it time and again. I don't think it's suitable for that. You have two amazing people and you still go. I am pretty much against that. He's a great player. I love him, but Kane Williamson, man, what a player. How can you not love this guy? What a performance in 2 consecutive days. I really loved it. And yeah, commiserations to myself and if any Hyderabadi viewers, those 3-4 people watching, my family members mostly, commiseration to them. But besides that, it's pretty much fine. And for the sake of defeating us, I hope Delhi goes and beats Mumbai. Please, for God's sake.
Chole Bhature, yeah. I've seen these Swiggy ads, Chole Bhature versus Vada Pav is the ad, right?
Oh, no. Yeah.
God.
Very smart. Very smart.
They don't even fall in the same bracket of, consumption, but okay.
No way.
Yeah.
And also, Anurag, you said 3 or 4 people. Come on, man. I know we don't have fans, but let's not give that curse to Siddharth and Prajakta. I'm sure there are people watching for them. So
I said 3 or 4 people from Hyderabad.
Yeah. All right. And on that note, I'll come to you, Siddharth. Yeah. Of course, as Anurag mentioned, a creditable effort by SRH. All in all, they did fall short. And on that aspect, I'll come to the defending champions, to the 4-time champions of the IPL, to probably one of the best run IPL franchises, at least right now. Maybe they're competing with CSK or for an all-time pitch in there as well. So, how do you see Mumbai Indians shaping up? Because all signs point towards Rohit Sharma lifting the trophy again tomorrow night, and Mumbai again, rejoicing in its claim of being the best IPL franchise in the history of the IPL, of course.
Very much possible. MI can definitely win their 5th tournament. I would say that, to start off, I think MI have no visible weakness. When I look at their top order, you have Quinton de Kock, Rohit Sharma. Then at the very same time, you have a power-packed middle order with Kieron Pollard and Hardik Pandya coming to his very own. And then you have, this brilliant fast bowling attack. You have Jasprit Bumrah, Trent Bolt, who has really stepped up in the absence of Lasith Malinga. Rahul Chahar, not to forget him, he has actually bowled really well. If I really take out that game of the qualifier 2 against, I think, Sunrisers Hyderabad, or I think, I'm probably forgetting this game, but I think he has really, really bowled well. I think it was against Delhi Capitals. Yeah, sorry.
Delhi Capitals, yes.
Yeah. So I think MI really have all bases covered. And there is no reason, I would say, there is no visible weakness as to, what I said earlier on. But I think it would be really interesting to see if MI, let's say, if they lose quite a few early wickets, then it would be really interesting to see that, how the likes of Kieron Pollard, Hardik Pandya, or even Krunal Pandya shape up the innings. Because I think we saw in the 2017 IPL final against Rising Pune Supergiant, MI were really, really struggling. And then it was the knock of Krunal Pandya that took them to a total of around 130, and then they won it from there. I think it's going to be very, very very much dependent on DC, that they really get those early wickets to put pressure on MI, and because that's the only way, because I think that MI can be stopped. Because even if MI, let's say they are batting first, they are 90 for 3 in 14 or 15 overs, we have seen that they have this tendency of reaching 180 or 190. So they can score those 80, 90 odd runs in the last 5-6 overs. So yeah, it's perfectly I think it's definitely MI are favorites. But what DC would be looking at is something that striking early on, because if they can do that, I'm not really sure how MI's middle order is going to step up if they really get to bat in those first 7 to 8 overs, or maybe first 8 to 9 overs.
Yeah, I completely agree.
An innings is actually something I'm really not sure how Pollard or someone like Pandya can do. So yeah, it would be a good battle.
All right, I agree with you there, Siddharth, because we haven't really seen their middle order tested as much yet. Because once again, they've been so complete in their victories, at least in most of the matches, they've been so complete. They've not had to face that many crisis situations. I know we are plucking at straws here, trying to poke holes into the team here, Prajakta, but do you see any apparent weaknesses in MI? I know Siddharth did point out, and being from Delhi myself, I would like to hope that there are few weaknesses that maybe we've not been able to pinpoint as of now because of their fantastic play, but nothing apparent as of now. I think if this match is played 10 times, I would go for MI like 7 out of 10 times, because that's the level of mental edge also I'm sure they hold over Delhi.
So, Mumbai Indians is currently in form. Both the teams, if you see Delhi as well as Mumbai, they both have won their last match. Qualifier 1 or qualifier 2, whatever it is. And then a formidable amount of winning experience. That's what matters the most, at least for Mumbai. And then, as he said, because, even their middle order has the likes of Kieron Pollard and Krunal Pandya, Hardik Pandya. These players are not bound to fail. And, they've all been match winners. Like, imagine winning 5, it can be their 5th season tomorrow. You never know. And yeah, but going back to Delhi, the main thing what, it comes down to is Shreyas Iyer, because the first 10 balls that he faces, he's averaging, only of 9.5, which can be a concern somewhere, because Shikhar Dhawan and Stoinis, like just how Stoinis came in for opening yesterday was a brilliant move in my opinion. And the only concern can be Shreyas Iyer here, because, Ajinkya doesn't really suit over there if they're keeping Prithvi Shaw out tomorrow as well. I guess Shreyas Iyer really needs to step up tomorrow. As far as Mumbai Indians is concerned, I seriously don't see any shortcomings that they're going to face even tomorrow.
Yeah, that must be music to your ears, Pratnesh. She doesn't see, any shortcomings there. And I know we'll do a Delhi roundup right after this. We'll start with Anurag there. Maybe you can do a little more justice to the actual finalists rather than the beaten semi-finalists. But we'll come to you, Pratnesh. Just couple of updates that I would require from your end as well. How is it looking with Trent Bolt? We've heard rumors of reports of him actually carrying a groin knock, and that could come into play his fitness tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, groin is an injury which you really can't just run it off either, and it's something that you have to take a lot of care of, because otherwise it becomes a bigger one. With Bolt, what has been coming out of the MI camp is that, ironically, Rohit Sharma has given a fitness update about a player.
It's been an interesting day for him, right?
Yeah,
He's been added to the squad as well.
Yeah, he's come into a test squad. I think if you look at it in hindsight, it makes sense to rest him for the T20 and for the one day series because
Yeah.
there's bigger fish that's coming up with the T20
Right.
World Cup, etc. So I think it makes a lot of sense instead of aggregating that. Coming to Bolt, Bolt is an option. There is a chance that he might make the final. There is more optimism about Bolt than it was, a couple days back. So I think in that sense, it would be a huge benefit for Mumbai if Bolt was there. And especially after watching Delhi yesterday, I would be stupid not to be worried about Delhi after watching them yesterday because I felt like Delhi Capitals were turning to Delhi Daredevils again. And, we saw the Capitals back again yesterday. And, a famous quote by a favorite football manager of mine, poets never win anything. The people who really understand and go deep into it. And then you actually plan for your opponent as well. So I think that is going to be important for Mumbai in the game because I think Mumbai themselves have no apparent weakness. I felt one thing which Mumbai could possibly improve on, which I felt in qualifier one was they weren't able to kill the game until Stoinis was out, probably in the 15th or 16th over, in spite of it being 0 for 3. And that is where somewhere I felt that Mahila Jayawardene himself being an attacking coach and Rohit himself loving to follow that, that attacking regime and he puts that on the pitch. I don't felt Mumbai Indians had that killer instinct until that 15th or the 16th over where they really wanted to kill the game. So I think, that is one thing which you cannot afford in the final. You cannot ever take your opponent for granted. And I think that possibly happened. But apart from that, I feel that it looks a complete squad. It looks a settled squad. I'm worried for Coulter-Nile as well. To be honest, his bowling hasn't really impressed many. And it can be that tomorrow he turns up and takes a couple of wickets and bowls well. But then it is an issue of concern, and I feel it's a weakness which you could dig out. But otherwise, it's a very good team, and I think it wouldn't be a surprise to anyone if MI win the fifth IPL title. So I just hope for the best.
I think adding to what Prathamesh said, I first of all agree with him that Mumbai weren't able to kill the game against Delhi Capitals in the qualifier one. I think cricket is a game of fine margins. We know that, and as far as the final is concerned, anything can happen. Even if DC are 5 down, maybe chasing a huge target or maybe a tricky target, anything can happen. Even a middle order batsman like Shimron Hetmeyer can guide them to win by a blistering knock. So yeah, I really agree with him. Absolutely.
Yeah, and
Prathamesh crying about Mumbai's weaknesses like Ambani crying, my plates are silver, not gold. It's like that right now. My goodness, man. Come on. Killing a game. Yeah, match was already done. I don't know. I mean, it's just because you asked him to pick a weakness out or kuch tha nahi, so it's like plug something out of hell.
No, but I genuinely felt
they killed the game. The game was out of hands totally.
He's actually striving for perfection from his side.
Yeah, exactly. I get it.
Anurag, even the Mumbai team was busy snipping out memes for that not for 3, dude. I think give him that, right? Like that was ridiculous. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, And
but this is I must say this is the best individual. This is the best 11 I've seen any team put out.
Right.
In IPL at least.
Although for me the best moment of the qualifier one was after the game when you talked about Rahul Char having
Surya Kumar.
Rahul Char having a really bad game, but what Rohit Sharma had asked him to lead the team out of the field, well, that must have given him a lot of confidence after that. That really helps. Those are small things which probably might not matter to a star player, but for someone who's up and coming, that would be a huge boost.
I don't think Rahul Chahar lacks in confidence. Have you seen his hairstyle? I don't think he lacks in confidence at all. And coming on to that, Anurag, leave it to Prathamesh to bring Jose Mourinho into an IPL chat as well. So of course, it's not football's not won by poets, neither is cricket. It's won on the field. So we'll come to the Delhi Capitals. Prajakta did hint on Shreyas Iyer being extremely important. We know Shreyas hurt his shoulder yesterday.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
I think it was a throw.
Left shoulder.
Do not quite understand how he managed to do it. It was a right throw, and his left shoulder managed to. It looked like he might have dislocated it, or at least he looked in pain. So that could be a problem again, especially if it comes to these two extremely quick bowlers who are very good with their bouncers as well. I'm sure they will target his chest, and chest area and a little higher up as well to make him to try to pull, and with the shoulder not being fully fit, again that becomes a problem for Delhi.
Yeah, I think the problem with Shreyas was he had a dislocated shoulder. He had a surgery, I think so. I'm not very sure, because of which he was out for a short while before the IPL as well. And I think when he was throwing, I know he was throwing with the right arm, but this entire area it's under pressure when you're throwing a ball. So I think it just must have pulled something up. What people from Delhi can hope is that to be not very serious, because despite not being in form, he's a very important part of that cog, and he's led the team very well. That's the most important thing. uh, this is a team that has lost. I mean, see, going into a game like that against Sunrisers yesterday, knowing that you've never qualified to a final, I think that definitely plays in your mind. A lot of people come out and keep talking about we have to take this game as a normal game. You can't do it. Yeah, it's very easy to say that outside. People do tend to remember it's a semi-final. If not now, it's never. And still, I think the way he's led, obviously with the support of a absolute champion like Ricky Ponting, it's commendable, and they obviously need him. And in the unfortunate scenario of his absence, I don't see who could potentially come in to fill in that captaincy slot. Would it be Ashwin? I think that would be
Shikhar
disastrous,
Dhawan. Shikhar Dhawan
considering
is
what
the official
he's
vice
had
captain.
at. Shikhar Dhawan, again disastrous, considering what he's done at Sunrisers. There was a season where he was captain of Sunrisers. They had to, like, literally midway through the season, they had to remove him as a captain. So that's a very unfortunate situation for Delhi right now, especially before the arguably, I think, hands down, the most important game of their entire history. So yeah, there are some loopholes, but it was good to see Hetmeyer come back. Hetmeyer is a guy who picks his moments, and is a very moody guy. You never know when he's going to perform, and when he does, he really backs a punch. And the best thing that Delhi did was giving Marcus Stoinis that freedom with the ball. I still don't think he's that lethal with the ball yesterday, because Sunrisers had to attack. They had no other option. They tried to target him, and in that pursuit, they did lose a few wickets. But I still don't think he's going to be that, um, I should say, lethal or that useful with the ball. But I think, who was a person who Daniel Sams was a person, I think,
Yeah.
who was left out of the squad, because of which now Marcus Stoinis has to bowl his overs. So yesterday, at a point, you could see there was a little bit of tension when Kane Williamson was batting well, who was going to bowl the last few overs. And luckily, Rabada picked those wickets, and Stoinis obviously picked the wicket of Williamson, if I'm not wrong. And
Yeah.
things turned
Very wide delivery.
but things turned out quite nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah. uh, he can be useful in that regard. He can keep bowling those slower deliveries, and these are long boundaries. I think that's always going to come into picture. But again, him
But Mumbai
opening
have
is a
better hitters than
huge
Hyderabad. Mumbai have got
yeah.
much better hitters
See,
than Hyderabad.
absolutely, I think without a doubt. But again, when these are long boundaries, especially Indians, we're a bit too used to these smaller grounds. And I know it's the last game of the tournament. I think people are perhaps used to hitting those long boundaries and everything. Uh, but you never know. You can still, in India, one thing that people sometimes get away at Chinnaswamy or Wankhede is this half hits, and that you can't get away in Dubai or Abu Dhabi. So you never know. I think when you're bowling slow, you don't have the pace to work with. You potentially still could uh, maybe pose a threat. Let's see what Marcus Stoinis brings. I am really looking forward to what he can bring. Rabada, I think it was good for his confidence that he picked those important wickets in the last over, in the penultimate over, I must say. But let's see how he goes, because last time Ishan Kishan was treating Rabada like a school level bowler, quite literally. I mean, what a player! I mean, just the energy and the fearlessness with which he is facing one of the fastest, one of the best bowlers in the world. And that confidence, you can see that entire vibe of a champion is rubbing upon every single player who's wearing that Mumbai jersey right now. So that is the one thing that Delhi have to be competing with. So I don't know what's going to happen. I am optimistic, but at the same time, quite not sure what's going to happen.
Yeah, and you mentioned about Daniel Sams there. Siddharth, I'll come to you with this, because I don't think Delhi can afford to play play with three spinners as they did against Hyderabad, because I think Mumbai batsmen will tong them around for fun. Because I would like to come back to the point that I don't think Hyderabad have got that level of power hitter as Delhi, as Mumbai have in droves, because at the top of the order, in the middle of the order, even towards the end of the order, they have batsmen who can swing their bat. Trent Bolt can hit a few. So even coming down to that very extent of the order. So what exchanges could you envisage in this match? Because for Delhi, because I don't see. First of all, just my 2 bits here. I feel Sandeep Lamichhane is probably the unluckiest player in this IPL. That is because had he just been born as I think Joy Bhattacharya said in Breakfast, if he was just born 100 kilometers this way, he would have played probably every other match, because he was just born 100 kilometers from the Indian border in Nepal. And it is just because if he could get an Indian passport, he would play every match for that Delhi team.
Right.
Absolutely. See, I think as far as the changes that what you're talking about, I think that Delhi might not basically get away from that winning combination. There is no point in making those changes, but at the very same time you'll also have to look at the due factor. So considering the fact that Delhi are bowling second, I don't think that Praveen Dubey is going to play. Someone like Harshal Patel could be a good choice, because he bowls those off cutters and his leg cutters. But I think going with Tushar Deshpande could be a big risk, because see, he has with no disrespect to him,
maybe a Harshal Patel.
Yeah, Harshal Patel.
That's what he meant.
Yeah, my first choice is Harshal Patel only. But I think as far as Tushar Deshpande is concerned, I think he has been very much expensive this season. And, he has the talent. Definitely, he has this talent, to perform at the big stage also. But not now in a crucial game. So maybe Harshal Patel, who has this experience of, good experience of playing in the IPL for quite a few years now. Yes, he could be a potential change. But, we also don't have any, official update on the injury status of Shreyas Iyer. So we don't know, he actually looked fine, I think, during the post-match presentation. But if,
hope so.
If he misses out, I think that, Prithvi Shaw could get a game. But if he gets a game, then, it would
change the opening again.
Yeah, he would be opening again, and that you would be, disturbing the opening combination. But I think rather than that, it would be, probably be a wise move to have someone like Lalit Yadav, because he's an all-rounder.
Yeah.
Also chip in with those couple of overs, and but let's hope that Iyer does not miss out. It's a big game. We really want to see him do well for his team, and I think there shouldn't be any too many chopping and changes. So it should be the winning combination, but Harshal Patel could get a game ahead of Praveen Dubey if due is a factor.
Yeah, and I completely agree with you there. And same thing is a very interesting suggestion there with Lalit Yadav. I don't think many people would have picked up on that, because on the domestic circuit, he's very, very highly rated. His bowling skills aren't something he's not just ek do over haath hila diya type bowler. He's a good option as a bowler. So I'll come with that to you, Prajakta. Delhi do have their couple of issues, but I just wanted to focus in on their captain. I know this has not been a very very fine IPL by his standards. Admittedly, you had a much better season last year. Scored buckets of runs last year. Hasn't scored that much even in the last match yesterday. Got a start. Gave it away again.
Honestly.
Sorry. Yes, sorry.
No, you can continue.
I know, and just in the last 2 years, if there have been two batsmen from India, of course, who really impressed me, it's been Mayank Agarwal and Shreyas Iyer. I think both of them, the way they've grabbed their opportunities, Mayank in tests and now hopefully in white ball cricket as well, and Shreyas especially as that much talked about number 4 spot that India never managed to have for almost like 8 years now. So how do you think had this tournament been the making of Shreyas Iyer the captain?
As a captain, yes. As a future, you can, have a look upon him, and there's even KL Rahul in, for Kings XI Punjab.
Would have been.
Exactly. So now that he's appointed as the vice captain, obviously he'll be looked forward in a longer perspective. But coming back to Shreyas Iyer as a batsman, not really. But as a captain, yes, he's turned up quite a few times. But what tomorrow actually can happen is that a lot depends on the toss as well, because Delhi would prefer, defending a total, because that's what they've been doing, and they've been winning most of their matches by defending a total. And, having the likes of Rabada and Oke in the game, you'll obviously want to defend. So a lot depends on that. Mumbai are obviously, they actually proved playing a match in Dubai, and, they haven't really won, and they won by a massive, against Delhi itself. And they're playing at the same stadium tomorrow. So, toss is one factor, and then Shreyas Iyer stepping up is actually needed. Like gracefully, he doesn't have any injuries tomorrow, and he should be fine for the game. Hopefully.
Just continuing that what Prajakta was mentioning, that Delhi would prefer batting first. So there have been 5 finals that Mumbai were a part of.
Right.
4 times they batted first and they won it. The one time they batted second against Chennai in 2010, they lost it.
They lost it. Right.
Oh yeah, I mean now we're
Right.
trying
to
find,
make Mumbai lose, yeah.
Every leap year there is a new winner.
Yeah.
Mumbai
That's what
doesn't win
most of
on.
the one-
Yeah.
Oh, so Anurag, Mumbai also never won the IPL outside India, so that's also a thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Right.
Fabulous. Yeah.
So so I mean,
not a valid
you're looking for everything here, Pratmesh. I guess I know we're towards the end of the chat here, but not in conclusion, but towards the end of it, I think all in all, you should be very happy as a Mumbai Indians supporter. I mean, I know the result. That anything can happen in a match, and on a given day, any team can beat any team. So that's the beauty of the IPL, and we've talked about this on previous shows as well. Because we've been so happy to see the competitiveness within the IPL, wherein the last team was finished on 12 points, and the team which came second finished on 16 points. It was a great event in that sense, and all in all, Mumbai by far have been the best team. And as Anurag said, do you rate this as the best ever Mumbai squad? At least Mumbai will not. We'll come to the IPL later.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we have seen Mumbai Indians lift trophies before, but I think if you look at it as a team with, they have the cohesion, they obviously have the talent, and those Mumbai Indians for the last few years, like Surya Kumar and even Ishan Kishan, who have been, backed a lot by Mumbai Indians. Ishan Kishan in particular. You look at Rahul Chair and how he has stepped up this season. And so these Indian players have also stepped up along with, the star Indian players, or you would say the foreign stars as well. So, that looks really good. Coming to the IPL final, I mean, win or lose, I still feel we have had a really good season. And, I would be delighted in any case, because I didn't at all, at the start of the season, I had this, this bit of mental block in my head that, odd year is, even year is not Mumbai. So anyway, whoever wins, I don't care. So coming to the final, I think we have played really good cricket, and obviously losing would hurt. But then if you look at it 1 week down the line, it would still be a really good tournament for Mumbai. And I'm really scared of one thing is that the Mumbai boys who don't play for Mumbai Indians, they tend to play really well against Mumbai. Ajinkya Rahane has got a fantastic record. Shreyas Iyer tends to play well against Mumbai. You never know if Prithvi Shaw plays, he might also go and score a 50 all of a sudden. So that's one thing that Mumbai boys like to prove themselves against Mumbai Indians. But otherwise, best Mumbai team I've seen for sure. I think one thing that was really emotionally training for me after I was thinking about this game, that maybe the mega auction might happen, not happen, but just in case it does happen, it would be difficult to see this team as a unit again. So emotionally it was a little difficult to digest that, but because Mumbai Indians hasn't always been about glory. If you remember, until 2012 2013, Mumbai Indians were probably one of the worst teams in the IPL, consistently not doing well. So from there, you have seen the likes of Rohit, Pollard, and then the Pandya brothers have come on, and Jasprit Bumrah also came on, and this core team has actually carried Mumbai Indians for the last 6 or 7 years. So that would be something that would be emotionally draining out if we do have that mega auction. But really, really happy with the team's performance this season, regardless of the final.
All right, I'll come to you, Anurag here. There isn't that much left to say. I think if you look at both the coaches, Ricky Ponting has a history with Mumbai Indians, and if I'm not wrong, Mahila has a history with Delhi, and that's a very very interesting throw of exchange of positions there for the both of them. Ricky Ponting, I remember that one particular season in which I think he dropped himself. Right, he was the captain and he dropped himself, and that spoke about the man, of course, and ended up ensuring that Mumbai won. So, do you expect any more Stoinis type trump cards? Again, I know that's not a very winning word right now, but trump cards to be played by Delhi Capitals tomorrow?
I want to say there is something, but I don't know. Like, see, I think this is the first Ponting versus Jayawardene final since the 2007 World Cup. Is it?
Oh, please, let's hope it's more competitive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope it doesn't turn out that way. I mean, obviously,
And check for all
the
Mumbai
balance is
batsmen
different
and
this
their
time.
gloves, I want to check them for the squash balls. I don't want any Adam Gilchrist scenes here.
So again,
Our batsmen don't need them.
hopefully not. Again, as I said, I think Shimron Hetmeyer coming into form was quite pivotal for Delhi because that middle order looked lost in hope and lost in any sort of vision, if I must say, especially in that phase when they're losing those games. So if they need to get themselves out of trouble, and Shikhar Dhawan, if anyone remembers watching yesterday earlier when he was batting early on, they showed a record of his performance in the playoff 14
Yes,
games and he was
horrible.
averaging what 11-12, highest score of 34, and he put all of that to bed and he scored what brilliant. I think he has to step up, and I think it's about time Shikhar Dhawan starts stepping up in the big games as well. And he did that once. I think he has to do it again because fortunately or unfortunately, he's the best batsman in the team right now. So let's see what he can do.
We'll just do a round of final predictions and just a last couple of parting thoughts, especially on Prajakta and Siddharth's behalf. I'll come first to you, Siddharth. As Anurag did mention, Shikhar Dhawan has risen. Probably rather somewhat surprisingly, I think Delhi Capitals themselves would have hoped for maybe a Shreyas Iyer or a Prithvi Shaw or maybe even a Shimron Hetmeyer to be their leading lights, or a Rishabh Pant who we've not spoken about at all, such has been the fall from grace from last season. So, are you surprised by Shikhar Dhawan's form? Do you see him staking a claim and ensuring that his spot at the top of the order in white ball cricket, international cricket, is not going to be challenged for the next year or so at least?
See, Shikhar Dhawan is a proven performer. And even during the start of the tournament, he wasn't at his fluent best. But, as and when the tournament progressed, we had those twin hundreds and those, 3-4-50s. So, yeah, as far as, Shikhar's place in ODI squad is concerned, or in the ODI 11 is concerned, I think it's not going to be much of an issue unless, he gets injured, pretty often. But at the very same time, I think it was very important for him to, perform at this stage, because given the fact that, he is not a part of the test team anymore, one format is actually gone, from his resume. So he really, really has to perform. And I think at the very same time, him being there and him being the top run scorer, I'm actually not surprised, because he, according to me, I've always, seen Dhawan as someone, who is a big match player, is a, big tournament player. We have seen that with India in the Champions Trophy, in the 2015 World Cup also, and things could have been different in the 2019 World Cup had he not sustained that thumb fracture. So yeah, I'm not at all surprised. I'm really happy that he has performed, and I won't be surprised if he gets another 100 tomorrow.
Oh, come on! That's strong words. Strong words. More power to you, Siddharth. I love your optimism, Prajakta. We'll come to you. Any one player. I know. Almost the entire 11 is that to look out for Mumbai. Any one player that you're especially looking forward to? I think Suryakumar Yadav has to score a century after all that's been spoken about him. And I remember Harsha Bhogle now saying, I think before the last qualifier, that just score a century and make sure you break the door down.
Yeah, right. Because Suryakumar has been in a very good form with his Willows. So I won't be surprised if he performs in a very, like a standout performance tomorrow. But I'm looking after Rohit Sharma. I'm really anticipating on his performance tomorrow, and because the opening partnership would matter a lot if he's coming. I guess he'll come to open only tomorrow. But yeah, I'm banking my vote on Rohit Sharma for tomorrow. So.
The same question for you guys, Prathamesh and Anurag. So we'll start with you, Prathamesh, first. Any player out of the both teams you're looking out for? Paying special attention to. Going for a different player from what we've already spoken about. I know Rohit. Entire India is looking for it. In a way, I think everyone would be happy if he scores some runs tomorrow. Yeah. Just some, not many.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think
he can hit a couple of good boundaries and then get out.
So looking individually at both teams, the first from Delhi would be Ajinkya Rahane, because I feel if Delhi do lose those early wickets, And with Mumbai having a good new ball bowling lineup, Ajinkya Rahane would be crucial to whatever score they make. So I think, and he has a really good record, as I said before, against Mumbai. He likes scoring lots of runs against Mumbai Indians and likes scoring lots of runs for Mumbai in the Ranji Trophy. So I think that's going to be something that I'm really looking forward to. I would like to see Ajinkya Rahane play really well. Coming to Mumbai Indians, the player I'm really looking forward to tomorrow is Ishan Kishan, because again, this season he is the highest six hitter in the tournament. I think nobody at the start of the tournament would have expected Ishan Kishan to be on the top of that list. So, and it's not just about his sixes. I think how he has matured as a player. He's able to pick out those moments when he can actually strike big. He sometimes starts with a strike rate of around 70, 80, and then he just takes off from nowhere. So that is something that I'm really looking forward to. And also because he has played Nokia and Rabada, like two school level bowlers almost, in the last two games that he's played against Delhi. So, really high hopes on Ishan Kishan. But, if Rohit Sharma does give him a chance to bat, then that would be a different story altogether.
All right. Anurag, on your end?
I actually was going to say Ishan Kishan because I think, because of a wider perspective, because I still think Dhoni's replacement as a wicketkeeper is still yet to be found. And I somewhere see maybe not just the Jharkhand reference, but also because of the fact that he's a lot more level-headed when compared to his other competitors like Sanju Samson or, say Rishabh Pant. I think he is very smart with his hitting. That's what I really like about him.
Yeah.
I was going to say him, but I think I must say I'm really looking forward to what Rabada can produce. So let's see. I hope he can do well. He's not been in the best of form, and although the 4 wickets might be a bit of an aberration because those 3 wickets came exactly when the people were. Those are not really the best of balls that he can bowl. He is capable of. Yeah, people were going after him, and that's how he got the wicket. It's nothing to take away, but again, that's not the best that Rabada can do. So let's see what he can do. He has to perform well because last game was quite disastrous for him against Mumbai. So I'm looking forward to Rabada.
Rabada might keep the purple cap. Somebody else might keep the orange cap. We won the gold medal, so that's more important.
Yeah, that's क्या line मारी है एकदम मतलब so yeah, I agree there.
Yeah, goosebumps.
Of course. So coming back to it, wrapping it all up, I think the one player I am genuinely looking forward to is I know people have hoped that he'll perform the entire season and he hasn't been able to. I just hope Rishabh Pant is able to hit the first ball out of the middle of his bat tomorrow because it's been painful to watch him now because he comes there, it looks confused, he looks like he's been told to play something else or he's just lost confidence in his own hitting ability. Nothing meets the middle of the bat. Just keeps scraping around for 10, 15 balls and then, he tried to hit a short ball, khadi ho jati hai, and then he gets out and then it's not been nice to watch him and we all know his talent is impeccable. Just the other day with the Australian tour coming up and they were showing the highlights of his 150. What a marvelous innings that was and it's tough to believe that that was 2 years back and we're seeing a completely different player now and so I'd hope just for Indian cricket's sake that Rishabh Pant has a positive game. I can't really say that he has a big game or something like that, but he has a positive game tomorrow and as far as everything else is concerned, let's hope it's a competitive match. Let's hope it's not like the Mumbai-Delhi encounters that we've seen in this IPL at least. It's more akin to the cliffhangers that we've seen. Maybe who knows? Maybe a super over. You never know. Siddharth, just your final predictions. I know. Is it head over heart or heart over head? Yeah. What's happening here?
I think it's semi all the way. But if Delhi can get those early wickets, it's game on.
All right, Prajakta.
For me, it's Delhi Capitals. Firstly, I don't know, what's exactly going to happen, but I genuinely want them to win. We need a new winner, and it's due, honestly.
It's due.
There's no point asking Pratmesh, but yeah, sure.
When
you can skip 3 minutes. Yeah.
You win the toss. Delhi bowls first. Mumbai bats first. Mumbai wins. So that's my prediction.
All right, Anurag. I'm assuming that you're also going for Delhi now.
Yeah, look at Prathamesh's prediction. Is like Delhi win the toss. Like, why would they even bowl first? Like, he wants Delhi to fall in the trap. Like,
no, but did they not fall in the trap in the first qualifier?
Obviously, they did. Yeah, I think they did. Yeah.
I was stunned. I was like, why are you giving away the initiative? Why are you bowling? And then you open the bowling with Daniel Sands.
Straight away lost the
There
momentum.
is something about the word Daniel that's really annoying.
Yeah. So on that note,
Delhi. Sure.
Yeah. So here as well. I mean, I know, of course, being a Delhi
Deep down, everyone knows it's Mumbai's game to lose. Yeah.
It's that classical, you have those derbies in football when a huge club goes and plays against a village team. So I know I'm no disrespect to Delhi there. They're not a village team. They've definitely been the second best.
National capital, bro.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying they've definitely been the second best team.
Yeah.
Just the gap between first and second I see is so big that Mumbai have to have a bad day and Delhi have to have their best day to win this tournament. And let's hope it's a close match. Once again, thank you so much, especially to Siddharth and Prajakta. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. It was a real pleasure to have you here. And we hope that we can, have you around for the India-Australia series. As, a little liner was dropped by Pratmesh about Ajinkya Rahane. I hope he has a good performance because he's going to be the captain of 3 tests there. So, it would be nice that if he takes some confidence from the UAE to Australia. And of course, our usual culprits here, Anurag and Pratmesh, thank you so much for joining me here. And once again, to our viewers, please do let us know what your predictions are for the match. Any comments, any suggestions, anything that maybe you can get into Ricky Ponting's mind and throw a googly down Mumbai's way will always be appreciated. Keep watching the Sports Doyen. Do subscribe, share it around, and we'll see you soon.